chain reaction, living underground. Jigsaw action, it's a shell of a town. Turtles count it off. Live by the code of the martial arts. Never fight unless someone else starts. Always stick together no matter what. If all else fails, then it's time to kick butt. There's no one better.
Watch out for Shredder.
They're like no others. Those teenage brothers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo.
The Renaissance was pretty much a party that followed the Middle Ages. In place of all the religion and good morals, people just wanted to have fun and live in the now. Many of the works were subjective, including nudity, violence, and promoting materialism. Art was the medium that promoted most of these ideals. Four of the main artists were Donatello, Da Vinci, Raphael, and Michelangelo. At this time, the Medici family ruled society and even took over the church. They commissioned many of the artists to do the works of art so they were able to spread their own ideas.
Donnie, come on out, man. Just come out of the closet.
It wasn't a secret then. I guess I'm not going to keep it a secret now. I'll just come out.
See you later.
If you're wondering who created the first nude sculpture of the Renaissance period, that would be me, Donatello. It was my representation of David right after he killed Goliath. If we want to analyze him from head to toe, let's first off look at his helmet, which it doesn't necessarily look like a helmet, I'll give you that. It looks more of like a French woman's hat. If we make our way down, his body has some nice curves to it. He's got his wrist on his hip, pushing his hips out to the side with a little bit of sass. If we look even further down, at the bottom of my sculpture lays Goliath's head, with David's toes slowly caressing through his beard, through his nice golden locks. As many of you may have noticed, us Renaissance artists like to depict prostitutes in many of our works. Toward the end of my life, I created a sculpture representing Mary Magdalene, who was said to be a prostitute in her early years. I used wood for this statue. What looks to be her tattered clothes, it's actually not clothes, that's her hair draped all over her body. I wanted to cover up her nude body as opposed to leaving it naked like in many of my previous sculptures, because I started to realize God doesn't like all this sexuality that I've been putting in my works, and I really don't want to go to hell. And I'm wishing to repent with this statue. That's how my inner feelings are. I mean, you can look at her hands, it's almost like she's praying. They're almost touching like she's in a prayer stance. I feel that towards the end of our life, both I and Mary, her feeling like how she felt in this statue and me how I feel now, we just want to repent. We don't want to go to hell after this world's over. We want to go to heaven. I really don't want to go to hell. Most of my works I was commissioned by the Medici family to complete, along with most of the other artists during my time. I was credited with developing the shallow relief method of depth perception within my sculptures. It was a lot easier for me to accomplish that with sculptures as opposed to paintings. So, as you see in most of even the paintings during our time, it was modeled kind of after sculptures where there was more of a 3D effect and more depth perception rather than just a flat surface, which I was really able to accomplish with my sculptures.
I'm Michelangelo. Not only am I the favorite Ninja Turtle, I'm also the best Renaissance artist. In the Ninja Turtles, I was really easygoing. When I sculpted the Pieta, and everyone was wondering who was the sculptor that did it, I decided to write my name on the Virgin Mary. No big deal. I left Florence around the time I was 20 because the Medicis got kicked out of there, and they asked me to come back to sculpt a piece of cracked marble that a lot of artists had tried and failed at, and I turned it into one of the best pieces of art in history. It was my sculpture of David, and I was able to capture the boyish look like Donatello tried to do, except for mine actually looks like a dude, and you can tell it's classic Renaissance because of the contrapposto stance that David is taking, as well as the nudity. Those were also big signs of the Medici family and the influence of the Greco-Roman times. And when they were putting the statue of David in the square, the Medici supporters were throwing stones at David because it symbolized not falling to any power, including the Medici family. I also kind of had a rocky relationship with Pope Julius II, and he asked me to make it, design his tomb and make the sculptures for it. He interrupted my work on his tomb to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel by a suggestion from Raphael, because Raphael thought all I could do is sculptures, but I proved him wrong. One of the most famous pieces of the Sistine Chapel is the creation of Adam, where I painted God giving life to Adam. Adam is in that contrapposto stance that's classic Renaissance, just like I don't care. The color red, which is also classic Renaissance, so kind of showing the influence of the Medici family. And I'm also known for primarily using 3 colors throughout the entire Sistine Chapel. Unlike other artists who tried to play around with their paint, ended up not finishing their pieces of art. Leonardo.
Hey Leonardo, the other day, like I was walking through the town square, and there were some people there talking about how religiously stimulating that last work of art you had was.
Religiously stimulating? I was a prostitute.
Really?
Yeah, you know that. We always do that. People are so stupid these days.
They're also talking that they're like yeah, and I love his work. He uses so much red. That's like my favorite color.
Yeah, Medici family.
I know, they pay us so much. I think it's kind of funny that all these people think we're doing it for just our religious beliefs and everything, when really we're just getting paid boatloads of money.
Now, I know everyone knows who I am. I mean, Leonardo da Vinci. I'm the most famous artist, painter, anything of all time. And you may know me for my Mona Lisa painting, which most of you may think it's just one girl, one person, Mona Lisa herself. Well, I'm here to tell you a little secret. That's not just her. That's half her and half me, because we had a little thing back in the day. Ooh, good old Mona Lisa. Now, if you look closely at that painting, you may notice a few things. You may notice half of her hair is straight, the other half's a little wavy. My hair's wavy. Did you ever think that was still a bit strange? Maybe even, did you notice her hand? It's huge. My hand's huge. Weird. You need to look a little closer, people. I do a lot with my works of art that you can't see just by glancing at it. Now, another work of art that I'm sure everybody knows, The Last Supper. One of my personal favorites that I painted. The Last Supper, why is the picture in the daylight? That may be a question that most of you may wonder. I thought supper time was at night. I thought it should be dark. Interesting. Very interesting. The Last Supper painting I painted for the Medici family. Now, the Last Supper painting was one I did actually for the Medici family, which I'm not too proud of, to be honest. The Last Supper painting wasn't really a religious painting. It was more, I guess you could say, mocking religion, which later in my life I realized, maybe I'm not going to go to heaven. Maybe, in fact, I'm going to go to hell. Maybe I should change the way I'm painting. Maybe I shouldn't paint for the Medici family anymore. I'm sure there are a lot of Batman fans in the audience today, and I myself am a Batman fan. I'm actually the reason Batman got started. My flying machine was actually what influenced Batman. If you notice, the two wings are a lot like Batman's wings. You can also give me credit for the starting of the crossbow and the helicopter.
Hola, me llamo Rafael y voy a hablar hoy principalmente de mi obra favorita, que es...
Hey, English.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk about the School of Athens, or it's the same called philosophy, and it's in the Stanza de la Signatura in the Vatican. So yeah, like every Renaissance artist, I like a lot, like I play a lot with the light and Greco-Roman architecture. I'm also like always, instead of talking like everyone else about God and all that stuff, I always talk about the ancient gods. It's like kind of better. I like it better, you know, like more cool, more fight, more blood. Yeah, that's what we like. Then I talk about like philosophers back in the ancient Greece. They were cool people. So in the middle of the painting, I'm talking about, I'm painting Aristotle and Plato. They were like, that guy was his master. Then we can see how in the both sculptures, on the left one it's Apollo, he's the god of reason, and on the right one is Minerva. There's a goddess of wisdom. Everyone else is like famous people of back in the ancient Greece, like Pythagoras, that we all know him because of the mathematics. Heraclitus is a brooding Greek philosopher who declared human folly. Euclid, remained the standard geometry text down to modern times. That's pretty much about my main painting. It's also they highlighted the contrapposto and the three-dimension, like the contrapposto posture and the three-dimension in the painting. So now one of my second painting, like one of my favorites too, is Pope Leo X with Cardinals Giulio de' Medici and Luigi de' Rossi. We can see in this painting I paint a lot of red because of the Medici family. They pay me, so everyone's paint with red clothes, and we can see those two guys on the back. The left one is from the Medici family, Giulio, and the right one is Giulio de' Rossi. Basically, we can see how they have beard, and the guy in the middle is the Pope. That was the guy from the Medici family who got to be Pope. So he was being Pope, but he was still being from the Medici family, so he was still paying artists to paint art for him and for the Vatican. So that might be why they were always mad at each other, the church and the Medici family. What do you think about the nudity and the Catholic Church?
Have you seen my sculpture, David? Imagine talking in front of that.
Like, everyone likes nudity. That's how you appreciate the beauty of the body.
Hey guys, pizza's ready.
Yeah, pizza!
And one thing that pisses me off are these postmodern artists thinking they can like just throw stuff at walls, make beautiful art, sell it for millions of dollars. No, that's stupid. Like, we spent hours, like days, months even, like making our sculptures and paintings. Like, we deserve, like, we have way more talent than them. Like, ask anyone. Like, all they do is throw stuff at the wall for 5 minutes. Like, that's stupid. No. Like, I understand, like, there's cameras now, but I mean, you're just gonna give up? Like, that's not real art. You're just throwing stuff at walls. I mean, yeah, a camera can get a picture of it, but who cares? Like, use your talent if you have it. I'm not saying you do. I mean, you haven't shown it, but just, like, don't give up that easy. Go Nuggets.
Cowabunga!